Στις αρχές του 80, τέλη 70, αρχές 80 περίπου, είχαμε, θα λέγαμε, μία πτώση των τρομοκρατικών επιθέσεων, λόγω του ότι οι εγκέφαλοι κυρίως των μεγαλύτερων τρομοκρατικών ομάδων είχαν φυλακιστεί στην ουσία. Τι είναι αυτό που ξαφνικά όμως εμφανίζει ένα νέο πρόσωπο μετά από όλα αυτά στην τρομοκρατία?
With the Al-Qaeda, who founded by Osama bin Laden, the world had to face a new face of terror, which in fact created sleeping cells. So that was a new concept in terrorism. These sleeping cells did not actually have possible links with headquarters, so it was very difficult for intelligence agencies to leak in or embed somebody and get some news out.
Είναι γεγονός ότι το ISIS δεν μπορεί να ελεγχθεί. Αυτό τουλάχιστον έχουμε καταλάβει μέχρι τώρα. Για ποιο λόγο πιστεύετε? Μήπως επειδή χρησιμοποιούνται κάποιες έτσι παλιωμοδίτικες μέθοδοι αντιμετώπισης της τρομοκρατίας?
The ISIS or ISIL or whatever you call it, Daesh, created a new wave using those sleeping cells actually with their massive propaganda machine terrorizing entire globe. I mean, nobody in that sense, if we go back to your question, nobody is immune and nobody feels safe anywhere in the world. The world, unfortunately, so far, they try to deal with Daesh, with ISIL, with traditional methods. But in fact, we have a postmodern terror group. So you cannot defeat it using traditional methods, which is like try to still sneak in, get in, and try to capture headquarters. I mean, it's not going to work because they don't have a center. They managed to attack capitals in Europe as well as in Turkey. So that shows their operational capability. ISIS is more successful recruiting people for their cause than the world developing mechanisms to stop it. So that's unfortunately a fact. So, and also when you look at the ISIS, you don't see like a prototype of a terrorist. Like, for example, suicide bombers, when they studied in Palestine and when in Israel's case, they find that actually somebody from that family got killed by Israelis, and poverty, uneducation or ignorance, etc., would be the motivation for these people to commit such devastating crimes. However, when you look at the ISIS, they say, for example, their so-called Minister of Communication in Raqqa, I don't know if it's true, but for me it looks true, actually a Tunisian man who has a PhD from United States on telecommunication. And also I remember a headline 2 or 3 years ago, 18 medical doctors who are educated in Britain, qualified to be doctors, they went and joined ISIS. So now we are actually in front of something pretty serious. What actually attracts these people, such educated people? They're not from a deprived backgrounds. I mean, you're talking about a qualified medical doctor in the United Kingdom abandoning his job and going and joining ISIS. May have motivated or caused them. In my view, we have two major areas to focus on. One is that the injustices and crimes against humanity committed by superpowers in the region. What I mean by this is that what Americans did in Iraq, over 1 million people got killed. And also, you can say more about what happened in Afghanistan, their policies, Western powers' policies in the Middle East and in Africa. I'm not saying that everybody would be influenced by this and take the gun and go cause terror and havoc in capitals, in world capitals. I'm not saying that. But this is one of the major causes for recruiting people. On the other hand, second point is that we have unsuccessful policies that America or allied forces develop in the region. I'm not saying they did it deliberately, but sheer ignorance. Purely they were absolutely ignorant of the region and they tried to produce solutions. So that's a major obstacle for America. How? But they have very good strategists and actually they sit in Washington or New York or Chicago, develop on the table some solutions, some projects, but they miserably fail in the field. I mean, look at the Syrian civil war. America did not start that, but yet all the regional leaders did nothing, just simply looking at America to come and sort it out for them, you see. So that's the problem. United States got to be a police of the region, we like it or not. This duty is even assigned to him from the regional governments or leaders. But United States of America don't have enough experts to tackle the problem.
Η Τουρκία γεωπολιτικά θα λέγαμε ότι είναι σε ένα πάρα πολύ δύσκολο σημείο του χάρτη. Ενδεχομένως, αυτός είναι και ένας λόγος για τον οποίο δέχεστε πάρα πολλά χτυπήματα, παρόλο που η Τουρκία έχει κατηγορηθεί ότι συνεργάζεται και με το ISIS, στο παρελθόν και τώρα. Θα ήθελα την άποψή σας πάνω σε αυτό.
As being a good citizen of Turkey, we live in a very kind of geopolitically difficult area. I mean, we have 850 kilometers border with Syria, and behind those borders, in the last 5 years, world's probably the most brutalist war is going on. On the other hand, with Iraq, you have around 500 kilometers of border, and for now 20, 30 years, we are dealing with a failed state. And Iran, as you know, that until the sanctions are lifted, had a really difficult time. So Turkey, unfortunately, surrounded with these countries. And in addition to that, we have ongoing terror committed by PKK, the People's Workers' Party, and they have their own attacks to our Turkish security forces, etc. How many armed security forces you're going to employ at every nightclub, and then also it's not limited to those nightclubs. I mean, you have this daily, Istanbul is 17, 18 million, and look at the public transportation to all sort of, I mean, it's next to impossible.
Θεωρείτε ότι όλη αυτή η μετάβαση των μεταναστών και από την εμπόλεμη ζώνη, αλλά όχι μόνο και από την εμπόλεμη ζώνη, όπως ακριβώς σημαίνει και στη χώρα μου στην Ελλάδα, έτσι, αλλά ας μιλήσουμε για την Τουρκία. Θεωρείτε λοιπόν ότι αυτή η μετάβαση βοηθάει στην ένταση των τρομοκρατικών επιθέσεων?
Actually, the world is suffering from this, what we call an international terror and terrorism and attacks. So, as I said, nobody is immune from this. Now, Turkey is hotspot because, as I said, probably we have very few countries in the world having borders with countries who are having internal wars or failed states or economically suffering, like in Greece. Turkish security forces, it seems, they're really doing a good job in a way. Like we had 4 million immigrants. I mean, they all came from Syria. These people, I mean, yes, we love Syrians and they're our guests, our brothers, etc. But this is shouldn't let us to forget that the prisons are just emptied from there. So all sort of criminals as well living among us. So it's a fact. Russia, for the first time in its history, involved militarily in the region, namely in Syria. So that was unexpected. But this is Russia's involvement in Syria is a prestige project. So they want, it cost them so much money, but they want to succeed on this. So for a peaceful solution in Russia, in Syria, Turkey and Russia got to cooperate. So I don't believe that actually as a good ally of America, Turkish government or Turkey is abandoning all that and going hand in hand with Russia. No, but Turkey developing new relations, this includes the military relations with its neighbors and with new partners. I think that's the way it should be seen. So I don't think there's any deliberate attempt from the United States side. They come up with strategic projects in the region for strategic solutions. They are totally ignorant of the concerns of regional powers, like what they're doing now. For example, they are supporting the Kurdish group PYD in fight against Daesh or ISIL in the region. I would be rather concerned to have, let it be Kurdish or not, any entity financed, armed, trained right? And Daesh one day will disappear from the area. This group will have a significant war or battle experience. What's Turkey going to do with it after all these things ended? They are using Kurds. Basically, America is telling Kurds, go die for us so we can sleep in our beds comfortable. They have, in my view, again, no guarantee what's going to happen after defeating ISIL in the region.